Good morning. Welcome back after a week off. Almost a week off. We had to skip last Thursday. Root yourself in your sit bones. Roll your shoulders around. Some head wobbling. Some little twists. Swing your legs. Whatever feels comfortable for a moment. Find your seat. Have your haunches up against the back of your chair. Scoot back nice and tight. Sit up nice and tall. Back your shoulders over your hips. Soften your eyes. Either look down to the floor or close them. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Bringing yourself into your body. And let your breathing just relax. Let your body take over that natural breath. Check in with your body. Check in with your shoulders, the left side. Check in with the right side. How do they feel today? Check in with your neck, left and right. Does your head feel heavy? Did you sleep wrong? Does everything feel lined up and correctly placed? Check down your spine, down each vertebrae into the mid back, down into the low back. Check each hip, left and right. How do they feel this morning? Check down the outsides of your leg, down that T-band from the hip to the knee and the knee to the ankle. Check in with your knees. How do your knees feel? Check in with your ankles and your feet. Check in with your hands, your palms, your wrists, your elbows. What area of your body feels like it needs a little more love today? Having a nice soft breath. I want you to put both hands on your belly. And I want you to breathe into your hands. Nice big belly breaths. Deep inhale into the hands. Exhale, draw the belly in, pulling it away from the hand. Big inhale into the palms. Exhale, pull it away from the palm. Big inhale in. I want you to do 5 more of these big breaths. Really focusing on breathing into the hands. Not allowing any other part of the body move. Giving our organs a massage. And then relax your hands back down into your lap. Drop your right ear over to the right side and flip your left hand over. Tuck your chin forward. And then draw your chin back, lifting it towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin forward. And draw your chin back, keeping your head cocked to the right side. Taking your chin forward and back, getting some stretch through the shoulder, through the front of the chest, through the upper back. And pause with the ear right over the shoulder. Take a nice big breath into the side of your neck. Tuck your chin and gently roll to the center. Flip your hand over, lift your head back up to neutral. Realign your spine. Drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Flip your right hand over, the palm is up. And then draw the chin towards the chest. And then draw the chin back, lifting it towards the ceiling. Drawing the chin forward into the chest. Drawing the chin back to the ceiling. Taking it forward and back, keeping the left ear cocked off to the left side. Getting some movement in our upper back, shoulder, chest. And pause right over the left shoulder. Take a nice big breath into the side of your neck. Tuck the chin, roll to center. Pause, flip your hand back over, bring your head back up to neutral. Take your right arm out to the right side, palm facing forward. Soften your eyes to the floor. Wide fingers, jazz hands. Start to draw the arm across the front of the body. All the way over. Then hook your left arm under the forearm and draw it in a little bit further. Keep the elbow soft but strong. So you're not locking it out. Tiny bend, but you're not allowing the left arm to create a larger bend. Draw the right shoulder away from the right ear and tuck your chin forward. Slowly roll the left ear to the left side. Feeling movement in that upper back. And then roll the chin back to the center. Lift the head back up. Release the left arm. Open the right one out. Shoulder comes up to the ear. Arm comes up. The thumb is leading over the left shoulder. Lengthen the shoulder away from the hip. Turn your head and look through your armpits. You might have to open your shoulder up a little bit more. So look through the armpit. Bring your head forward. Stack the arm over the shoulder. Bring it back down to neutral. Then open the back of your hand towards the back of you. You open up through the shoulder a little bit more. Now my bolster's in the way. You can actually lean it, set it on something if you have something to set it on, and press your shoulder forward. Relax, arm back out to the side. Flip your hand to face the back wall. Scarecrow arm, let it dangle. Let that dangle for there for just a moment. Wide fingers. Strengthen it back up. Rotating from the shoulder, start to raise your hand to where your hand and forearm is parallel, like you're sitting it on a shelf. Then go a little bit further until you're at a goalpost arm or cactus arm. Take it down, back down to flat. This is a new one. Then down and let it hang like a scarecrow. Shake it out. One more time, wide fingers, rotate to flat. Then rotate to goalpost or cactus. Feel the movement through your shoulder. Come back to flat. And then to scarecrow and let it dangle. Start to slide the back of your hand into the small of your back. Draw the belly in. Help prevent you from arching your low back. And then turn your head to the left. Tuck your chin down into the left shoulder. And relax the right shoulder. Let it hang. Let the forearm rest on your haunches. Put your chin back up. Turn your head to face forward. Slide that arm out. And let it hang. Shake it out. I want you to be a little more aggressive with your shake today. Really shake that arm out. Place it back in your lap. And let's switch all that over to the left side. Taking the left arm out, palm facing forward. Make sure you're nice and lengthened. You got out of whack. And bring it forward. Arm across the center, wide palm. As far as you can go, then hook that right arm. Keep the elbow slightly bent. Draw in with your right arm. Draw the shoulder away from your ear on the left side. Breathe. And then tuck your chin forward. Start to roll your right ear to the right side, lifting the chin. And roll it back forward. One more time, that felt good. Roll to the right side. And roll back to center. Lift your head back up. Release the hook. Open the arm back up. To the side. Start to go up. Lead with the thumb. Wide fingers. Leaning over, lengthening. Turn your head and look through your armpit. May have to draw the shoulder back and away slightly. Getting more space. Breathe. Bring the head forward, arm comes back down. And then press the arm and shoulder back in space. Open a little more up through here, through the chest. Bring the arm back to parallel. Flip the hand to face the back wall. Scarecrow. Gonna give it a break for just a moment. Then you're gonna widen those fingers again, activate the whole arm. Start to rotate up to flat arm. Like you're sitting on a countertop. Rotate to cactus. Rotate back to flat. Rotate to scarecrow, shake it out a little bit. Energize, rotate back to flat. Rotate to cactus. Hallelujah. Rotate back to flat. Down to scarecrow, shake it out, and start to slide it into the small of your back. Draw your belly in to resist the urge to arch. Lengthen tall through the spine. Now we're going to turn our head to the right and drop your chin down. Try and relax the left shoulder and let it hang there. Rest the forearm in the small of your back. Breathe. Lift your head back up. Rotate it back to center. Slide the arm back out. And shake it out. Aggressive, a little more aggressive than normal. Shaking through the hand, shaking through the elbow. Get all the flabby stuff to flap. Good. Shake it all out. Return your hand to your lap. Roll your shoulders a couple times in both directions. Turn your head side to side. feel your shoulders a little more loose than they might have been when you started. We're going to work down our spine a little bit more. I'm going to roll my blanket up, scooch forward. I didn't mean to scooch my whole mat. Walk your feet to outside edges or to the outside edges of your chair. Nice wide stance. And we're going to do our, our controlled whiplash of our spine. So you're going to take a nice deep breath and lift your chest. Exhale, start to lean forward, lead with the chest. Then drop the head, draw the belly in and round up on an inhale. Lift chest at the very last of your inhale and then exhale, take it forward. Rounding the back and rolling up. Exhaling it forward. Keep the knees over the ankles. The hands can be stationary on the thighs, helping you remind you to keep the knees over the ankles. Or you can just let the hands move with the breath, move with the body, sliding up and down your thighs. Keep your glutes, your butt engaged to keep those knees open. Rolling through the spine, creating some motion through each individual vertebrae. Have you ever watched a caterpillar move? It's almost as if each section moves on its own. Imagine that each individual vertebrae is going forward one at a time until you reach the head, and then they're each lifting one at a time until you're up nice and tall. Maybe you have a better analogy than a caterpillar. That's all I could think of. On your next inhale, come all the way up nice and tall. Close your eyes for a moment. Relax your glutes. Keep your knees over your ankles. And just evaluate how your spine feels, your shoulders, upper back. So we've done forward and back with our spine. We're going to do some side to side. So we're going to start with the right arm. You're going to inhale up and over. And you're going to exhale back down. And then you're going to start the other side. Inhale right up and over. So we're going to alternate. Exhaling down and inhaling up. Getting some nice side to side vertebrae movement. There are little tiny fibrous muscles that run the entire length of the spine. Each individual one attaches at each vertebrae, runs down, and then attaches at another vertebrae. They're called the erector spinae, but it's not one muscle, it's a bunch of muscles. Start up at the top of the head, and they go all the way down to the sacrum and to the tailbone. They're very common for getting tight. Going side to side works one side at a time. Help to balance them out. Big inhales up, exhales down. And finish off this last side. And then bring yourself up nice and tall. Hands in your laps, and evaluate how your spine feels. Now we're going to do the rotation of our spine. We're going to start with the right arm. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and rotate to the left. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Other side. Inhale left up. Exhale, rotate right. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Right side. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Left side up. Right. Left. And relax. Return your hands to your lap. Get your breathing calm back down. Evaluate how your spine feels. Walk your feet in. Do some intuitive movement. Maybe you had a spot that was a little tight, a little angry, didn't feel balanced on side to side. Move around a little bit, see how that spot feels. If you feel a little more balanced. Motion is lotion for the joints and the muscles as well. All right. We're going to put our one foot out in front and bring our weight forward. So you might want to put your heel on a block or a blanket, pillow, some sort of cushion. So we're going to start with our right foot forward. I've scooted myself to the edge of the mat or the edge of the seat so that my tip of my butt cheeks are sitting on the chair. If you need more, you can rotate so more of your left cheek weight is supported. Toes up, right foot forward, soft knee. So I want you to lock your knee out first, see how that feels, and then I want you to release it, release the lock and feel that little bend in there. Utilize the thigh in order to keep that bend nice and strong. The more you come forward, the more we have a tendency to press down with our thigh and lock that in. Release that lock and hold this position. Hands on your hips, right at there where you have that bend. Deep breath, lengthen. Exhale, come forward, root through the left foot, lengthen through the crown. And I want you to have your hips and shoulders lined up. They're just leaned forward together. And I want you to feel the difference on your hips. If you round your back and try and keep your hips level with the floor, and then if you arch your back and feel your hips spill forward or your belly spill forward. I want you to round the low back a little bit and then arch and round a little bit, arch a little bit. Where do you feel more supported? Where do you feel less supported? Where do you feel a better stretch? At some point you feel the stretch release, like I'm not even stretching, I'm just leaning over. And then I want you to realign those shoulders and hips and lengthen through the crown, root through the left foot, and feel that good stretch down the back of the leg. Breathe. Squeeze your butt, come up. We're going to switch sides. Same routine. Left foot out. If you had more cheek on, you might want to turn the other direction this time. Toes up. Lock the knee in place first. Lock it down. Feel how that feels to have that knee locked down. You don't want to have that knee locked down and have weight on it. Release. Get that little bend. Release that lock. It's not a big bend. It's just a release of the lock. Engaging through the thighs to help hold that in place. Hands on the bend of your hip. Deep breath, lengthen. Exhale, coming forward on the forward part of the sit bone, lengthening through the crown. Feel the position of the hips. Now round the low back a little bit. Feel like you're rolling up on the center of your sit bones. And then round forward more towards the pubic bones. Feels like your back arches. And round your low back. Rolling forward towards the pubic bone. Rolling back towards the tailbone. Forward towards the pubic bone. Go back and forth a couple more times and feel the difference of the stretch in your leg. Feel the spot that feels the best. Feel the spot that feels way too easy. And then find that happy medium where the hips and the shoulders are lined up, lengthening through the crown of the head, activated through the leg and through the sole of the foot on the right foot. Breathe. And slowly come up. Bend that foot, bring it back in. Shake it out. We're switching back to the right side. This time we are going to do some rotation with it. So I want you to take your right hand across over to the left knee. Instead of palm down, which we typically do, we're going to do palm up. So it's just kind of sitting on the upper outside of the left thigh, okay? I want you to root this foot into the floor and keep the knee over the ankle. So you're going to have to push through the sole of your foot because if this hand is there, it wants to pull it in, and we're not going to let that happen, okay? Bring the left arm out. Take the right arm down, pressing into the outside of that thigh. Pull the belly in, turning your head and torso to the left. Breathe. Keep the knee over the ankle. That leg may be shaking a little bit, trying to resist the pull from the right arm. Breathe. Slowly rotate back. Release your hands. Roll your shoulder if you need to. Switch sides. Left leg comes out. Left arm, palm up, comes kind of to the outside front edge of their thigh, wherever it's comfortable. Right arm, inhale out. Slide the left hand further down the outside of your thigh slightly. Root through the right foot. Resist the temptation to let that knee fold inward. Breathe. And gently come back. Releasing the hands, bringing the chest forward. Bend the knee, roll the shoulders around again. Let's rotate over to the left side, drop the right knee. And for this purpose, we're going to be up on the top of our foot. So if you need support, you can put a blanket, pillow, something right at your ankle so that your foot can be relaxed. You can put a pillow underneath your shin. We're not going to put weight on it, but if you just feel better, if you have a little bit of support, have your hip and shoulder lined up. If you have a mirror or a camera that you can check, make sure everything is lined up. Lengthen tall through the crown of your head. And I want you to do the same motion with your hips, rolling towards your pubic bone, rolling towards your tailbone. Roll towards your pubic bone, towards your tailbone. Rolling back and forth. You'll notice as you roll back towards the tailbone, you get more of a front of thigh stretch. I don't feel hardly anything when I roll towards my pubic bone, except my back doesn't love that position. So rolling back and forth and just being mindful of what your body is telling you. See, when I roll forward, my back is telling me, stop doing that, please. I don't like that. So I'm not going to go as far forward. And it wasn't a stretch. It was a definite, I don't like that feeling. And then I want you to center your hips back up. So you're somewhere centered between the pubic bone and tailbone position. outside arm inhale, lengthen up and lean towards the back of your chair to open up your hip a little bit. Open up space in the joint, in the side body. Stretch the low back QL muscle. Breathe. And come back up. Release down. Slide that foot forward. Shake it out. Let's go to the other side. If you use the support apparatus, switch sides with it. Dropping the left knee this time. Now, I'm not really putting any weight on that blanket, but for some reason, just having that little bit of something under my ankle reminds me that I don't have to put pressure on my foot for this process. So put your knee underneath your shoulder, lengthen nice and tall, find that center, and then start your rolling. Roll onto your tailbone, roll to the pubic bone, tailbone, the pubic bone. Rolling your hips back and forth. When you roll forward, you're not really trying to press your chest forward. This is just a low back, low abdomen movement. When you roll towards the pubic bone, how does your low back feel? When you roll towards the tailbone, draw the belly in to help press it back a little further. Again, when I roll forward onto my pubic bone area, my low back does not love me. Not spasming, but a definite, please stop doing that motion. I'll make it mine smaller. And then center yourself back up, hips over your knee, right under your shoulder, outside arm inhales up, lean to the back of the chair, opening up through the hip, stretching through the front of the thigh, the side of the hip, the glute, the QL. The QL is right here, right up kind of over the top part of your hip bone, right in that little area. It's a square, literally almost a square muscle. Slowly come back up and relax. Draw your leg up, shake it out, shake them both out. So we have spent a lot of chair time today because I just felt like after we've taken a break, and we've had to take a break a couple of times, that we needed some good supported stretches. So we're just going to do a brief balance exercise, and then we're going to go straight to the floor. So if you would like to use a chair, put it in front of you or off to the side of you. Today's balance are going to be focused on, I can't think of the right word. You know how you have a word that you just had and then it just kind of went out of your brain? I wish I could just suck it back in. So anyway, back to that if I think of it. Bring your feet directly underneath your hip bones. Soften your knees, that lock them in place, and then release that lock. And that's what I mean when I say soften them, is you're right outside of a lock position. Soften the knees, lengthen through the ankles, lifting through the hips, lifting through the shoulders. Imagine that someone is drawing your vertebrae up and making you just that half an inch taller than you already are. If being tall to get on the railroad or to get on the carnival rides was your issue right now, you would lift, remember as a little kid, you're like, I'm tall enough, and you lift yourself up nice and tall so you can ride the roller coaster. Bring your hands to the side, palms facing forward. Bring your eyes right, soft eyes right forward, 2 or 3 feet in front of you. gazing a soft gaze at the floor. Soft knees. Now we're going to activate our body. I want you to press into the soles of your feet from the heels to the toes. I want you to activate your calves, your thighs, keeping that bend in the knees. Squeeze through your butt. Draw your low belly in. Lift your chest just a tiny bit, like it's a proud peacock moment. Draw the shoulders back and down, slightly lift through the crown. Activate through the arms, widen the fingers even more. Breathe and find balance in this strong, active posture as if you're a statue. Breathe. Root through the feet, grip with your toes, widen through your fingers. Then I want you to relax from the top down. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the hands. Relax the belly. Relax the glutes, the thighs, the calves, the feet. Move the feet around a little bit. Move the body around a little bit. Roll the shoulders. We're going to reactivate ourselves. Reactivate the feet, the calves, the thighs, the glutes, the belly. Draw it in, lengthen through the spine. Chest lifts slightly as the shoulders roll back and down. Arms activate, wide fingers lift through the crown of the head. Breathe. Grip with the toes as if you're trying to pull the ground up with your toes. You know, if you have a rug and you're pulling the rug to you with your toes, imagine that you're gripping the ground. Wide fingers, strong abs, strong glutes. Soften from the crown, the face, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the chest, the belly, the butt, the thighs, the calves, the feet. Roll them around a little bit. Shake it all out. And I want you to be a little aggressive with your shaking today. Shake out your head, shake out your shoulders, shake out your butt, shake out your legs. Shake all that energy, releasing some of that energy, releasing it out. Some twists if you want to do some twists. Some bends to the side if you want to do some bends to the side. Whatever you're feeling like you want to do before you move yourself to the floor. Bringing yourself down to the floor. Practice your roll down. Nice and slow. Try and go one vertebrae at a time. Keeping the abs as strong as possible. Once you're on the floor, take feet to both outside edges and just do some flopping for your hip health. Walk your feet to the outside edges. Bring the right knee into your chest. Straighten the left leg. We're going to rotate to the left. So left hand's going to go the outside of the thigh. Right hand and arm is going to press to the floor. Engage your thighs and glutes and roll left. Keep everything engaged. Keep the hips stacked. Don't let the top hip just melt into the bottom hip. Keep them stacked and strong. Imagine building a concrete buildings stacking one on top of the other instead of building a sandcastle where they just kind of melt into each other at some point. Roll back, switch your legs. Left knee comes in, right leg goes out. Right hand goes on the outside of left thigh. Left arm goes down onto the floor nice and strong. Press through the arm as you rotate, engaging the hips and thighs, keeping everything stacked and active. And roll yourself back. Both feet flat on the floor. And prepare yourself for Shavasana. You want to get last minute movement. Blah, blah, blah. Can't get the words out of my mouth today. I have toyed with the idea that when I put these on the YouTube channel, get yourself all situated while I talk and random stuff. Toyed with the idea of doing a voiceover, but I just don't feel like I feel like it's disingenuous to voice over a class that was actually held, because I don't know that it would be exactly the same if I voice overed. And I think you'd lose something of it. So that's not going to happen. So anytime I'm just rambling, the rambling is going to be there. But I don't have kids. That would be my legacy. Ramblings, yoga ramblings on YouTube. Find your comfortable position for Shavasana. Make sure you're supported. You're well supported through your spine, through your hip joints, your knee joints, shoulders, elbows, whatever support looks like for you. If you lay flat on the floor and it feels like your chin is jutting up because the back of your head is on the floor, but it just feels like you're jutting and opening up the front more of the, then put a pillow, by all means, put a pillow so that your head is supported in alignment with the spine. Taking the head back to lay down, excuse me, is not a good alignment posture. Allowing that neck to completely rest. Allowing the back to completely rest by putting the knees up or putting the lower legs onto a chair or something. Giving that back full rest. To start our Shavasana practice, I want you to place your hands on your belly like we did when we started. You can keep your elbows on the floor and just touch the sides of your belly if that's more comfortable. Or you can stack one on top of the other to have the full belly covered. And I want you to breathe into your belly, into the palms of your hands. Feel the belly press into the palms. And then exhale and draw the belly away from the palms. Two more breaths. And as you finish that last breath, keep your hands there for a moment and observe your body take over your breath. Observe how it feels. And whenever you're ready, you can release your hands to your side or keep them there. Allowing your body to take over the breath. I want you to do a body check again. Scan through your body. Scanning through the neck, the shoulders, down the arms, down each individual vertebrae, the hips, the knees, ankles, the feet. I want you to have your awareness hover over those places that uh, at the beginning of class stood out to you. And how do they feel different now? And maybe you have a new spot that your body awareness is telling you about, that you have a new ache or a new, I went too far, or it feels so much better. Listen to what your body has to tell you. Taking these moments during Shavasana, during yoga, to listen to our body gives us good practice to listen to our body when we're doing things every day, when we're lifting, reaching, stretching, grabbing something, picking up something off the floor, picking up something off the top shelf, taking weight on when we pick something up, taking something out of the oven, lifting a heavy crock pot, washing a car, washing windows, dusting off the top shelf, cleaning out the closet, being aware of when we're just outside of that zone that's good for the body. All of these things we have a tendency to just do at the spur of a moment. You don't think about warming up your shoulders before you take a casserole out of the oven. You don't think about getting in a proper position before you pick up a box of books off the floor. As we age, this becomes more and more important to be mindful of our movement, mindful of our abilities, mindful of our muscles, listening to how our body feels and how it reacts to stimuli, how it reacts to added weight, how it reacts to added movement, and how it feels when we spend a whole day doing absolutely nothing. Do we actually feel better at the end of the day? I don't know about you. You may. I don't. If I do nothing all day but read or watch TV or literally nothing, I feel worse at the end of the day than if I incorporate the movement. So as your mind wraps around this whole concept, come back into the body, back into the toes, feeling both big toes, second toe, third toes, fourth and fifth, feeling the top of your foot and the sole of your foot. Feel the ankle. Feel the shin bone all the way up to the knee. Feel the calf muscle up to the knee. Feel the back of the knee and the kneecap. Feel the hamstring from the back of the knee all the way up to the butt. Feel the thigh front from the knee to the hip. Feel both glutes. both hips. Feel the pelvis. Feel the belly, the organs, the low back. Feel all the way up the back of your spine to where your head rests on top. Feel the back of your head up over the back to the forehead, down the eyes, nose, jaw, throat, tops of the shoulders, down the upper arms and into the elbows, forearms, your wrists. Feel the palms of your hands, the front and the back. Feel the pinky, ring finger, middle, index, thumb. Feel the line of the thumb all the way up into the inside of the elbow, into the armpit, into the chest, into the breath, into the heart. How does your heart feel today? Feel the breath in your lungs, the rise and fall of your chest like the waves of the ocean, ebbing and flowing, coming in and going out. Soft, gentle waves of breath from the toes to the crown. The waves come in and the waves go out. The rise and fall of the chest, the rise and flow of the wave, the turning of the sand, the smell of the salt air. Allowing the breath and the waves to take you out of body. Tide comes in, tide goes out. Water flows in, water recedes, leaving foamy white droplets on the sand. Water returns, depositing more shells on the beach. Water recedes, allowing you to see the shells and the sun kiss the sand. The water comes in and the sand rolls over and readjusts, reforms. The tide goes out and you can see the little air holes of the sea creatures pop back open as they breathe and press the sand out of their holes. Water comes in and fills them back up, redepositing shells, rearranging sand. The water goes out. Water comes in and the water goes out. The breath comes in and the breath goes out. And life goes on and continues and flows and is connected. And we are all a part of something bigger, broader, complex, yet very simple, because the breath simply comes in and simply goes out. Take a nice deep breath, filling your lungs up, audibly sigh out. Begin wiggling fingers, toes, roll wrists, ankles, bend elbows, knees, hips, shoulders, spine. A little bit of movement in the body, whatever feels good, natural, waking up the muscles again. When you're ready, draw one knee at a time into your chest. Either roll or sit still. And roll over onto your side, stacking your shoulders, hips, and knees. Gently press yourself up into a seated position, stacking one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top. Let the head float on top. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then back up, forward. A couple of times. Drop the chin forward, roll right. Roll forward, then left. Roll forward, lift the chin back up, turn the head to the right, and then over to the left, and then to the right, and to the left. Coming back to center, big breath, inhale, arms gather, heavy, dense air all the way up. Lift, exhale, push that air down, active arms, active shoulders. Inhale up, light as a feather. Hands come together overhead. Exhale them down to your chest as you flutter eyes open. And namaste.